It is a crowded race for the presidential ticket of the People's Democratic Party as the clock ticks towards the 2019 general elections. Now, already, the build-up to the party's primary in October has been characterized by power play and intrigue and power tussle as a result of the high-profile interest in the party's tickets, despite being the opposition. Now, this is going to the PDP Presidential Race is going to be our major discuss here on Insight Theory this week. I am Liliana Gazi, and many thanks for joining us. Now, for the PDP Presidential Race, we have the likes of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, we have Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, and we have Governors Aminu Tambuwa and Ibrahim Dankwambo, and we have Senate President Bukola Saraki, who only dropped hints of his interest in the race. Now, others are former Governors Sule Lamido, Ibrahim Shekaru, Atahiru Barafawa, Jonah Jang, and Ahmed Makrafi. Now, also showing interest in the race are former Special Duties Minister Tani Mutaraki, a former Senator Dati Baba Ahmed, and a Professor of Language and Communication Arts of the River State University of Education, Olufumilayo Adesanya Davis. Well, joining me today on the program to talk about the PDP presidential race is Victorson Agbenson, editor/political correspondent at Radio Nigeria, and Alaba Yusuf of the Atiku Media Office. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's nice having you. You're welcome, Victorson. Okay, now, let me start off with you, Alaba. Now, let me get your idea. Moving on straight now. Over 10 presidential aspirants under the platform of the PDP. What comes to mind?
Beautiful. Because the beauty of democracy is people's participation. And, you know, we'll all be talking about dictatorship, this and that. The more, the merrier. But at the time, you know, you could see what happened yesterday or so, where all the presidential candidates came together to discuss, they have a parley. And at the end of the day, they're going to come up with what the late Keon Badiwe, Kingsley Badiwe, called Accord Concordia. You know, whereby people come together, you disagree to agree, you know, and you move forward. So you're going to get the best of ideas, you know. There's going to be a congress of ideas, whereby they now come to such a powerful team that will actualize the dream.
Okay, how about you, Victorson?
Yeah, beautiful reality that there are very many. You mentioned just about less than 10, but there are even
a whole lot more, yes.
A lot more than that. Many of them are not as known as the ones you mentioned. But if you go to the party secretariat, you see so many other posters for president, here and there. I think it's a plus, just like he said. However, what will have to either count for the party or count against the party in the days, in the weeks to come, or even in the months to come, will be how they manage themselves. These aspirants, how they manage themselves is very important because, yes, for instance, Atiku has said that he's going to stay in the PDP whether he gets the ticket or not. I heard Lamido say the same thing. Let it not just be saying it, let them actually commit themselves to the process that whoever comes out top at the end of the day, they will stay with the party and support the party. That's the only way that they will clinch. They can clinch the throne at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Now back to you, Alaba. Now, in your own thoughts now, who do you consider as the forerunners and the pretenders in the act?
Well, your language, contenders and pretenders. But this just we're in an era of political osmosis. You understand me? Movement of interest. You know, people are looking for where things get better. And don't forget that there are poster people, poster politicians. They paste their posters, they use that to do some deals. You know, and don't forget that political party, by definition, means like-minded people coming together to wrestle for power. And when they attain that power, they share in administration.
Okay.
So if you don't show interest that you want to go for the highest office, so how can you become a minister? Do you understand? So if they say, well, we never saw you, So at the end of the day, it's about deals being sealed. It will be preposterous to say that someone is a contender, someone is a pretender. In politics, well, politicians are not supposed to be that exact because politics is not a science of exactitude. Anyway, as a theoretician, I will tell you that we know those who cut across.
Okay.
You will know those, you mentioned their name in the east, in the west, south, northeast, northwest, and you say, even to those who don't watch television, just mention the name, they know who is who. So at the end of the day, but that does, enthusiasm alone does not give you the key. Well, the party, the PDP, even though I don't speak for the party on its own, you will know that, like what happened to the Labour Party in England. Labour Party was down until John Major became Prime Minister, and for Labour Party to win, people saw it that, oh, Workers' Party, I can't put my money, you know, all the capitalists, they didn't want to put their money in the Labour Party. So what happened is that they now form what we call New Labour Party, which a little to the left, a little to the right. And that's what is happening in PDP today. Now they're talking about direct and indirect, a fusion of direct and indirect election. So imposition is no longer going to be there. Okay. That people can now obtain forms from their local government level, ward level, zonal, state, and the rest. So when people have to contest to become delegates, then it shows that no single party, Godfather, you know, what the party was known for in the past, Godfatherism, it won't happen. And when there's a plain,
level playing field.
Yeah, a level playing field or ground, then the seed will be taken away from the shaft. Okay.
Do you agree with him? Do you consider the fact that they might be pretenders and they might be contenders in the race?
Yeah, in every race, there will always be people who have veiled motives. Yes, pretenders in the sense that they may not actually be reaching out for the presidency. They may want something else, just like he alluded. Like it's all strategy. For instance, there are some posters you see, some names you see. You just know that this person is not a serious contender. And also, there are those you also see. You know that, this person, so-and-so person, is a serious contender. But it all boils down to the fact that people want to be part of the process that leads to, that governs the entire political space, so that at the end of the day, they can share in the spoil of office when the party is victorious. So ultimately, I think the onus is on the party itself to be forthright, okay, to be, how will I call it now, to be really transparent, not just a promise. He talked about the promise to, you know, he's a PR teacher, and they always say good things. Not just a promise, but a concrete commitment to that transparency. Because already, as we are talking, people are already pointing a direction, say, this is where, who will get the ticket. Just last week, it's still in the news, the Atiku campaign office had to come out to deny the fact that he was talking with Abga. What could have led to that? Yes, there are permutations that a certain candidate, or rather a certain aspirant, Tambuwa, the governor of Sokoto State, is being tipped to be the anointed one. The governors, don't forget the fact that the governors are very influential in the party. And if you talk about PDP today, you mention Wike, those who saw the party through that turbulent time of the incursion of the former governor of Borno State. So it has come, the victory they had has come with a kind of ownership or legitimacy. Now, many people in that group, in that era, are pointing at Tambuwa and that's making others like Atiku uncomfortable. That's our own reading. It may be wrong. He has come out, his office has come out to deny the fact or to deny the claim that they are in talks with other groups. But how these things will play out in the days, in the weeks and months to come, we will all know where the truth lies.
Okay, well, you seem to have something.
I enjoy my friend talking about facts that has not been tested. And anything that's not been empirically tested, it cannot be a fact. Anyway, he quickly said it was just part of the soundbite. I would like to get us guided here in terms of, you see, in PR, there's something we call mudslinging.
Okay.
You understand me? It's happened in the past. People are contesting election. You get arrested on trumped-up charges on a Friday. You get locked up. Election is on Saturday. You get arrested on a Friday. So by the time they release you Sunday or Monday morning, you're supposed to be taken to court on Monday. So by Sunday, but the election is over.
Yes.
They say nothing against you.
Yes.
But what the mission was that they don't want you to participate in the election on Saturday. But when people see it, they say, that guy committed murder, he committed this, he was a thief. Do you understand? So, what we're talking about here is that Atiku, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, the Wazir of Adamawa, he's not a small fish. And he doesn't swim in small pools. A whale, you can't find a whale in the small stream.
You mean that guy is a small stream?
Excuse me, politically speaking, do you understand me? Politically speaking, you know the two big parties that are there today. You understand me? You know the contribution of His Excellency to PDP.
Okay. So
what we're talking about is that issue, and we know where it was coming from. A lot of big issue about trekking and no trekking. You know, they have to do something to, you understand me, to stamp. It's part of the mudslinging. It's part of politics. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now, let me get back to you, Victor. Now, let us talk about Kwankwaso. Now, yes. Starting with his the latest, you know, he's the latest declarant now.
Yes.
What do you make of his presidential ambition?
Yes, just as we always maintain, he has a right to aspire to that office, and he has a clout, okay, so to speak. Looking at his political pedigree, age is still on his side. He's almost 10 years younger than, about 10 years younger than.
He's 61.
Atiku is 71, and a large followership in Kano, which is also a major stronghold of President Buhari of the APC. His track record, brilliant, shows that he's an achiever, a performer. However, because of the kind of hurdle that he faces now, his political stronghold is also being tested now, just as whether it was sponsored by the opposition or not, but a semblance of that happened yesterday, just as he was declaring here, with a lot of crowd, Kwankwaso movement everywhere were there, with red caps.
Yes.
People back home, some supporters back home, of his supporters back home, purportedly defected to the APC. So that's to tell you, that's a pointer to the fact that, yes, you are going out there to challenge Buhari, will make your house uncomfortable, will throw some dust in your domain. It's all a political strategy. So Kwankwaso, give it to him. He will make the mark. But up beyond the north, Kwankwaso's followership wins. Unlike Atiku, who has followership. I think Atiku even has more followership down south. Has that clout, has that camaraderie from a lot of politicians, political associates that he's built over time. Okay. And so he has that going for him. Kwankwaso, that may pale. But We are still watching.
We're still watching.
Yes.
How about you now? What do you make of Kwankwaso's presidential ambition?
Well, I've told you we're in a period of political osmosis. Kwankwaso, Senator Kwankwaso, fantastic human being. You know, he's done well in his homestead. Unfortunately, the man he raised is trying to erase him. You know, he's the present governor of Kano State,
Yes.
the Anuje.
Yeah.
You know, he was a deputy to him, and now they're not seeing eye to eye. Therefore, what may happen? You also have the Shekara there, was former minister, was former governor of the state too.
Yeah.
So, the 2 million always talked about, the 2 million votes from Kano State will now be divided into 3 places. So, and that's the advantage of any other candidate. And when you talk about, there are some names you mentioned. I'm from Yoruba land, and you mentioned some names. Some people ask you whether there are some type of whatever. I don't want to mention here. You understand? Because they don't know, actually. So, it's down to number of PVCs. And now that we're talking about level playing ground and direct and indirect primaries, then we know where because to win this election, you understand me, no party wants to joke. If you know you have the chance, if you are a smaller party where you know you won't have effect, you can put anybody as your striker. You don't go to World Cup with your second 11.
Okay.
The best. You put the best.
We've seen the declaration, we've seen how massive it was, we've seen the number of crowd. Now, with you, Alaba, Kwankwaso, they spoke about him backing the euphoria of coming second behind President Buhari at the APC primaries in 2014. And now he insists he's the best man to defeat the incumbent. Your thoughts now, I want to get your thoughts as an Atiku strategist.
Thank you very much. I was at that primaries in Lagos, at Teslim Balogun. We all knew that it was arranged. Oh. Yes, we know. We all know. Okay. I was the head of branding and PR for the presidential campaign of current president. My line manager was the SSA Media Publicity, Garba Shehu, who was director of Atiku Media Office there. 14 of us from Atiku Media Office went to prosecute the campaign for APC. But when you discard with your team, what do you get? Your dream gets shattered. And that's what is happening. Kwankwaso's, what do you call it? The rally. It looks senatorial and ministerial.
Okay.
He doesn't look presidential.
Why do you say that?
I'll tell you. He paid for Eagle Square without any reason. It was shut out of the place.
Without any reason?
What reason? Excuse me, he paid. I have access to the receipts. You understand me? What did he do? Do you get my point? Is that the kind of person that will go and face the incumbent in direct election? You think anybody would do that to an Atiku? It's not possible.
Okay, what would Atiku
do? I'm just saying to you, I won't tell you. When we get to that bridge, we cross it.
Okay.
We're talking about clout. They deny you an access to a place. They did give you an alternative. What have you done? It took an Atiku and others to even protest on his behalf. He's a nice guy. We all work together. You understand me? He's a nice guy. All I'm just saying is that the PDP has a way of sorting itself out. The new PDP has a way of sorting itself out. Now they're having their presidential primaries on the 6th of October,
yes,
which is a day before. So there's nobody that's going anywhere.
The day before what?
You know, that's the...
Okay, define, yes.
You understand me?
That's a good strategy.
Do you understand me? So when you see a team that is thinking, you will know.
Okay.
The PDP over time, it's good to fail. If you be involved in an accident, you drive better. You understand me? That's what the PDP is doing. Unlike others who think that it's always... When we're doing the campaign, the APC campaign, we thought, no, you cannot defeat an incumbent. You cannot defeat an incumbent. Go to Ghana, go everywhere in the world. Oppositions have won several times over. Because what makes up the opposition are elements from the government and others who are sitting on the fence before coming together. And now you got the joker. The total election that I think the President Buhari had about 15 million votes.
Yes.
And the former president, Jonathan, had 13 million.
Yes.
Put together, let's talk about other people, let's say another 3 million. So that comes to what? That would be 30 million votes. Do you know what now? 18 million voters have collected PVC. And it's only one election they're going for. And you know what that election is. So no party wants to joke with that.
Okay.
No party wants to joke with that. Because the economy is bad. People, imagine the first word, Trump of America, Theresa May that came yesterday, Michael will come in today or tomorrow.
Yes.
When she comes. What's she going to be talking about? Please create jobs for your young ones. We don't want them dying in the sea. We don't want them creating nuisance on our streets. You understand me? So the whole world is saying that Nigeria is the center point, the headquarters of poverty. You understand me? You get what I'm talking about? So even Lagos is more of an entity than Nigeria, you know. So what we're talking about here is that things will sort themselves out, but we're in a talk shop. Okay. So let's do the talking.
Well, Victor, before I get to your question, you seem to have a little issue with what he said earlier.
No, I was I interjected when he mentioned the fact that he was locked out of Eagle Square without a reason. Okay. That couldn't have been the true position. You and I know that they couldn't. They gave a reason that they don't want it to happen during the weekday.
Yes.
So he had the choice of moving it to a Saturday, and if he had done that, they would now say, and they refused, they would now say, oh, this is really impunity and intolerance. Okay. But you saw what happened in Atiku area, where
it was crowded.
It was really crowded. Pitch that on the Eagle Square on a working day where people, federal secretariat, the proximity with federal secretariat and all that. So I think that's what they look
I need to bring us into hindsight.
Okay.
President Muhammad Buhari, General Muhammad Buhari, then retired, had an event at Eagle Square during the weekday in 2014. It's on record. And His Excellency Atiku tweeted about that.
Yes,
do you understand my point? So this excuse we're talking about, we know why. Look, who is supposed to know? The people who hired out the hall. I did not want to tell you that, sorry, we don't rent out our venue during the weekdays. They do exhibition during weekdays there.
Exhibition is not compared to the crowd.
The fact is that Theresa May was coming. They don't want opposition having something at Eagle Square. Simple. Okay.
No, you've added a point to it. The visit of such a global leader.
To you, would they shut down? See, I live in England for 27 years. Would they shut down the street that because President Buhari is coming? No, I'm only asking you.
No, the reason that got round the media, the reason that got down the media was that they couldn't give it out because it was on a weekday because of crowd. And then we saw the massive crowd that were at Chida Hotel when they went there. But whatever other underlying reason, whatever underlying reason it is, we don't know that.
The fact is that they want to deny him that publicity. That is, nobody's going to, no government person is going to go to Jabi. Do you understand my point? That is the bottom line.
Well, we deal
three arms zone is the happening place when it comes to politics.
All right, we'll deal with the facts we already have in the news.
So, but he has done well by doing what he has done, and he has spoken. He said they pull out a couple of things, equipment that they were to use. They put down a law that next time nobody can stop him from going to Kano to do what he has to do. So he knows his best.
Okay.
But he's a good guy.
Okay, back to you, Victor, now.
He's a good guy, but not as strong as your man, I think.
Well, when the best comes, the word better becomes a misnomer.
Okay, now let's get back to this now. Still talking about conquest now.
Yeah.
Now the Kano governor now do you think he has the clout favorably enough to compete with Atiku?
Yes, of course. He does have.
Well, you said something earlier about Atiku having more in the south.
Yes, in the south. Yeah. But you will not also give Atiku support in the north like Kwankwanso.
Okay.
So that's where both you need to look at it. Atiku's support in the north is not as strong as that of Kwankwaso. Despite the fact that Atiku has a wider range of support across board. So, just as I've said earlier, Kwankwaso is a good material, but his house is on fire now because of Ganduje, and you see they call them Okada riders who defected yesterday just as he was declaring in Abuja. It was on purpose. It was deliberate. So you expect to see more of cutting down on him as the race gets tighter.
Okay, still back to you now. Let's talk about Tambuwa, Alaba. What does he have going on for him?
He's a young man. Fortunately, he's also from the Northwest. And like Kwankwaso, like Chekrao, all of them from the Northwest. And there's this thing, people talking about, there's a principle, another current, which you can call political hegemonic ascendancy. People feel that a certain part of the country has been lording it over others. You understand me? Mm-hmm. And when you check the number of head of states that have ruled Nigeria, the bulk have been from that block. Okay. When you talk about the heads of security of this current government, they are practically from that side of the country. Now, when you have the current president, still has larger influence in the Northwest, more than Kwankwaso, more than Shekarau, or any other individual from that side. You understand me? And now, without any this thing, the thinking is that the Northeast is where, if anything to happen from the North, should come from. Because since Tafawa Balewa, no leader has come from the Northeast. You understand me? So, now, that happens to be where His Excellency Atiku Abubakar comes from. Essentially, Tambuwa, he has a lot of forces to contend with. He has the Shagari people, he has the Wamako people, he has the Bafara people. So, the state does not even belong to him. Do you get my point? Yeah, so, I would see him as a candidate for the future, except if I were him, I would go for a second term.
As a governor?
And plead with, work with the other guys and try to get the governorship and do a two-term. His popularity as a speaker was more of an aluta kind of, so now it's good. I know people who have courage. You understand me? And talking about young people, the age, some of the young people who are in politics, they are disappointed people. You know them. Some of them were the youngest governor, the this and that. So some of them, they've disappointed people so much that people do not even want to entrust, a bigger cake into their hands.
Yeah, we happen to have, probably we've had the wrong set of young people, but we look forward to having.
Yeah, that's right. You got it there.
I'm just saying. The wrong set of young people currently, yes. But I wouldn't give up.
Yeah, but no. I love it. I would love. I don't see myself as young anymore. I'm 58. So what I'm talking about is a situation where it's not about how old or how young you are. Experience counts.
Yeah, it does.
Capacity counts. Competence counts. Character counts. These things are important. Who creates wealth? Who understands society? Who is globalized and liberalized? You understand me? Who has that political network to secure and unite the people? Who is a bridge builder? These are elements of leadership that people need to look at.
So getting a young person with these elements of leadership, but a less amount of
you got to do that. See, it's like trying to have a child. Because you are Dangote, you cannot have a child today and you go to university today. You can have, it's not possible. There's a process. That's what you call PPP, People, Process, Platform. Okay. So he needs to wait for his time.
This is really not, that waiting for his time is really not something encouraging for the youth.
No problem. Let's move on. If you can create jobs like Atiku does, fine. If you can, if you mention him,
I'm all for the youths right now, and I would encourage.
I've driven past Kogi State where a young man is a...
That's what we have.
I'm
We
not
happen
saying
to have
you,
the wrong,
excuse me.
the wrong set
he's
of mindset
close,
of
he's
young
very
people.
close to the government. I'm not saying do anything for me. Just do the road. I've seen Edo State doing road. I've seen Ondo State doing road. But Kogi is the worst.
They are looking for money to pay salary.
You don't understand. Excuse me.
No,
You
that's
don't
why
understand.
I made a statement.
If you are close to the federal government, at least do deals. I served in a place called Iza on the way to Afikpo. That place was, that was 1986 or so. That place was nothing. But a politician decamped from MPP to MPN. Do you know what he did? He told them to step down the national grid just for 15 houses in his community to have light. And they did that.
Now, really quickly to round up now, starting off with you, Alaba, what are you envisaging now on the day of the presidential primaries?
Presidential primaries of which party?
The PDP.
Thank you. Before then, irons will have sharpened iron.
Okay.
And forces will have met with forces. Persuasion will have happened. Lobbying will have happened. A lot of situation will happen. You'll see people stepping down. I believe so much in that. Because where the word best comes in, the words better and good will become misnomer. And I think the party would like to put forward someone that can create job opportunity, someone that can unite the country, that can secure things, that will be accepted to the world. Because election in our country is not just our own alone, it's the world. And we need to be listening to the air, to the wind. What are they saying in advanced democracies about us? So let us put our minds together and let's start thinking about the necessity of life: food, shelter, security. Jobs. Jobs. And we're talking jobs, not underemployment. We're talking about mechanized farming. We're talking about adequate, qualitative education, investment in education, in people. So these are the things. We need to look for leaders who can sort out such things. We need leaders who can create, who will be creating wealth on their own, who will be creating jobs on their own, who will be uniting people on their own, not people that have not been tested. That is the bottom line.
Okay, how about you, Victorson? What do you envisage on the day of the PDP presidential primaries?
Let me put it this way. It is easy for me to envisage that it will be like the past, a lot of RNG. I pray that it will not be so.
Okay.
Let there be transparent primaries, so that at the end of the day, you get the best, the people who, the larger, whether they decide for a direct primary or which one are they deciding for? You know you're a PDP. Are you deciding for direct or indirect primaries?
It's a combination of both.
Okay, combination of both.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever process they decide on, let them follow it to the letter. Not coming out at the last minute with what they call unity list, as they did. If they do that again, to your tent, O Israel.
Okay, we look forward to the PDP presidential primaries come October, and then we look forward to seeing the results and having a single presidential candidate for the elections come 2019. Well, that's the much you can take here on Inside Story this week.